like, comment, share, subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, y'all, I'm back with another flashback. This video features Velvet and Serenity. Guys, I'm still working on re-uploading all of my content back onto YouTube, adding my commentary so that I can meet the YouTube guidelines. This is why you guys are seeing so many flashback videos from my channel. But I can assure you I am staying abreast of all things happening within carbonation, and will keep you posted on that as well. Please drop a comment, smash that like button, and share. All right, y'all, let's get into this video. Thanks for watching.
And welcome back to the Carbonation Station. Here back at you with Mother Eliana and Mama Willow.
Peace reflection.
Y'all come on in the room. Wait for a couple people to get in the room. As you all can see, the title of the video is "The Body is a Supercomputer." We are going to be talking about the body, some of its functions, and how it is a supercomputer. Why is it important for us to always stay in harmony with our body, not tamper with it, connected to nature, and things of that such. I'm gonna wait for a couple more people to get in because I wanna start this off real nice, real smooth. So the body is a supercomputer. I want to start off with, if you take a look at all the electronics that we have, as far as like our cell phones and our computers, let's take a look at that technology, because truly and all, that technology derives from us. It derives from our functions within our body, because when you look at a computer and or a cell phone, and me being able to project myself through the screen is similar to the eyes and how the eyes work. Programming, our bodies naturally program themselves through our genetics, and when we are tapped into certain environments or thinking a certain way, our genes program themselves. And on a computer, we go on the computer and we have to program the computer a certain way to have a specific function or do different things. So when we look at these technologies that seem external to us, we actually make it analogous to the body, and like, okay, I could see where my body does that naturally, and it's more so of an artificial intelligence versus.
Okay, what is Velvet talking about, y'all? What in the Blues Clues is she talking about?
Artificial intelligence versus an organic intelligence, and the human would be the organic intelligence. We have evolved or devolved so much so far past the organic intelligence to the point where we only rely on artificial intelligence to communicate with each other or to communicate with anything. And this is a detriment for the human body, because when we disconnect from having the organic intelligence, we disconnect from being able to communicate organically with ourselves, with our environment, with other people. So a good example for that would be because we're always talking on the phone or texting on the phone or doing something on the phone, we can never sit down with a person face to face and have a normal conversation with them to actually get some type of intellectual stimulation, because we're always on the phone. Artificial intelligence has constructed and reconstructed our attention span to become less than what it is. It has made us focus less on anything, on any type of subject, on any type of conversation. It's like, okay, just text me. What I'm saying? Let's make this quick, short, but being in the information age and trying to understand the information that we have right now, as far as our body being an organic computer, we have to have the focus and the capacity to sit down, to research, to understand, to have a conversation with our master teacher, to have a conversation with another part of ourselves that are able to enlighten us to an extent where it's not going to take 5 minutes. It's not going to take, a 59-minute second clip, or a second clip to understand, to get the gist.
Y'all, please pardon my background. I'm not home. I'm out and about, so you guys will hear noises in the background. But I just had to interject because this is another example of Velvet just rambling on and on about nothing.
To understand, to get the gist of the reality of what we truly are. We are always in communication with our environment, with ourselves, with other people, which is also equivalated, or what I make analogous to being a receptor. Our bodies are receptors. We are always receiving information, and not only are we receiving information, we're also emitting information to everything. So one of the biggest things for me in the human structure, in the human computer or the organic computer, is melanin. This is the thing that communicates, is able to communicate with itself. Besides an inorganic semiconductor that is only able to communicate so much, so and then it has to need another particle to be able to but melanin is the intelligence of the universe. It gives us the ability to communicate with our external, or what we think is external, environment, which is merely just environmental signals. That's all it is. We're electrical beings. We communicate through electricity. But you hearing my voice and being able to hear my voice is a signal. It's an electrical signal being sent to you, right? And all of the information that we
All right, y'all. If you haven't picked up your copy of Greatness is a Habit, authored by Aaron Dixon, otherwise known as True, many of you know him as True. He is an ex-Carbonation member, and he's authored this amazing read. If you are interested in self-development and growth, this book is a good one for you. It's available on Apple Books for $1, guys. I got my copy and I love this book.
we receive from our environments only come into three forms: liquid, gas, and what's the other one?
Liquid, gas.
Liquid, and two forms: liquid and gas. Because people would think that it's solid, right? People would say, well, I receive stuff as solid, but once you have the solid, your body has to break it down in such a way that it's either going to turn into a gas or liquid, mostly liquid, So this is the way we receive information from our environment. Most of it is gas, really, because it's electrical. It's electrical impulses that we're being receiving from our environment. So when I think about my body, and you can chime in whenever you feel ready. When I think about my body being this super organic computer, because I have melanin. Now melanin. What I also want to add on to that is melanin is a super conductor. It amplifies whatever you are receiving. Whatever you are receiving, it amplifies it. So we live in a world right now where there's a lack of knowledge of self.
You can totally tell in this video that Velvet is not really sure about what she's talking about, but she's still talking about it.
Knowledge of self. We're vibrating in our lower self, so we're taking in this ignorant information, this misinformation, and we're taking it in and we're acting it out, because most of us have melanin now, and even the people who have less melanin, they still have some form of melanin to be able to even exist in this realm. So no matter what frequency the melanin is on, or how lighter or how darker, we all play a role into amplifying the ignorance of our lower self. Now, when you have people that have more melanin, which appear more darker, then you are able to amplify the ignorance even more. So the darker your eyes are, the more receptivity you could bring in, the more you could be receptive to your environment, to the environmental signals. The more darker your hair is, the more coilier it is, the more you are able to take in and receive and be a receptor to these environmental signals, which is just energy, it's electricity. You could take it in more, you can harness it more. The darker your skin, you can harness these electrical signals more, because you are more of the universe, you are more intelligent, right? So when we take our melanin and we take our organic computer, it already being a receptor to our environmental signals. When we take our organic computer and we place it in a place like Babylon, and we have melanin, we're amplifying whatever we come into contact with. So it's important to always position your being especially if you have melanin in a place that's conducive with you. You being in Babylon, which is in the northern regions, is you're not getting enough sunlight, you're not getting enough oxygen, and we you know, a lot of people will say, well, how is oxygen? People don't truly understand how important oxygen is. Like I say, you receive all the time. You have to receive these elements to be able to vibrate to a higher consciousness. A lot of people think that they can stay in Babylon and continue to level up consciously, but you aren't getting the adequate amount of oxygen or elements, the 4 elements that you need to be able to elevate. You need these, you need to be able to receive these elements to be conducive. So if you're not receiving these elements, you're not going to be conducive, but only to whatever is vibrating, whatever you're vibrating at in your environment.
Okay. And I wanted to chime in and going on what you're talking about as far as like we're being receptors and how Babylon is hindering us from receiving and putting out those signals, because our body is an apparatus. Our body is a computer that receives and put out electrical signals. And so our whole body, starting from our hair, this, like you said, it's the coiling, it's the wiring, and it puts out the frequency and also receives as well. So don't let anyone tell you that your hair is dead, because depending on the temperature, the cuticle of your hair will open up and it will close. So if it's cold, it will close up. If it's hot, it will release. So whatever you're vibrating, whatever you're thinking about, you're putting that out into the ethers, and then you're going to receive that. And also talking about the body, talking about our aura is our odor, it's our energy. And what does Babylon do? Babylon does everything to cover you up. And what's the one thing Babylon does to cover your aura? It's through deodorant. It's blocking all the signals that you are putting out. So that's the reason why you see in Babylon that it is so backwards, and it is demise of mankind, because what it's doing is closing off that signal, and it's making you believe that you should be in an environment that is not conducive for you. So when we tell you to go into an environment where you can receive that direct sunlight, where you can receive fresh air in an environment that is conducive, it does not make sense to you, because you have connected yourself to who you really are, and that is going into nature. Now with Babylon, what it does, it makes you let me see, I lost my train of thought.
Man, Serenity stayed losing her train of thought. Y'all want to know why? It's because she rambles on and on about nothing.
Let me see, I lost my train of thought.
It makes you vibrate at a
It makes you vibrate at a very low state of mind. So that's why you think putting certain things in your body is the right thing. But what you don't understand is that anything you put in your body, it will calcify. And so then you are disconnecting yourself. And one of the things that you disconnect yourself from, and when you put things that is not conducive to your body, it blocks your lymph nodes, because your lymphatic system is also a manifestation tool for your body as well. So if you're putting things in your body that is not conducive, whether it's digesting or if it's the people that you have in your life or the environment, you are blocking your lymphatic system. So therefore you are blocking to receive the signals and then also put out the signals as well.
Facts. I want to build on peopletarian, because that's a big way, you know, that's our bodies are, you know, receptors, is always receiving. So when I think about people, that's the greatest source of us receiving. We receive people all the time, other people's energy. We are in constant communication with their electromagnetic signals, and in our environment also. But people, you know, people are our environment if you really think about it, because we're constantly surrounded by, I'm around you all day.
Yes.
Whatever you're thinking, I'm taking it, I'm receiving, whether I know it or not, and vice versa. So when you have a person around you that's vibrating on a low capacity or thinking on a certain frequency, your body is receiving that, and like a artificial computer, your body is programming its cells or its genetic code to be something that could be mutated.
Yeah, exactly.
Through the connection and through the reception of whatever you're in communication with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's very important, to be around people that are like-minded, to be around people that are on your frequency, so that you could know and be aware that you're receiving something good. And it all, this is it equates to food too, because people think that we could just go straight to the diet and have that as, you know, we're receiving the food, so we must be receiving all of the other elements, and we must be receiving good vibes, even if a person in our life is being negative. And that's far from the truth, because no matter how great or how healthy you think you are, or, you know, how good you think you're eating, if you have people that's in your life that's not vibrating on the same frequency and sending you the right signals, then you're gonna be messed up. It's gonna mess up your organic computer. It's like a virus.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? These viruses be coming out of nowhere. You're like, oh my God, how do I get this virus on the computer? And you're like trying to figure it out. And that's what you're trying to do in your life. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know what's wrong. I don't know. It must be what I'm eating. And that's far from it. It's the people that's in your life. Another thing, go ahead.
Okay. Because one thing I was thinking about is that people always say they are the creator of their reality. But how can you be the creator of something that you do not truly understand? You do not understand your reality. You do not understand your part in this reality. You don't even understand what the reality is. So how can you be a creator? So going back to what you were saying, that we are putting out the signals and we're receiving it. But if you don't truly understand who you are, then you don't truly understand what you're putting out. So you could be putting out by your low vibrational thoughts, and then also people don't truly understand who they are, and that's why we always talk about your astrological program, because if you allow Babylon to continue to feed you and reprogram you, then how can you be the creator of your reality? You are the creator of something that is below you, the low vibration. You are creating your low vibrational reality. So until you can truly understand who you are by connecting to the source that is nature, that is God, and then understanding who you are is through your astrological program, then you can never fully create your reality. You can never truly be the master of your reality.
I want to build on that.
Okay.
That was good, because we always talk about how we receive, but what are we putting out?
Yeah.
How are we putting out, and what are we putting out? Right? That is so important. People forget that they're emitting also, like, okay, we're receptors, we're always in communication, but what am I doing in return of that? What is the outcome of that? Which is giving. You're always giving something. You're always giving thoughts. You're always, you know, doing something. And like Mama Will say, if you don't understand yourself or understand the pattern of how you think, which is just merely your astrological energy, you are not going to understand what you're putting out. And as much as you put out is as much as you get back. So as much as you receive in is just as much as you should be putting out, but because we've been disconnected from, you know, who we are truly, and, you know, we don't take into consideration if we're giving back or not. And the biggest way, I want to just say this, because a lot of people would say, well, you know, if I come to nature, what could I give nature? What could I do to give? And it's simple. It's easy. Your body is automatically set up. If you let's just slow down for a second and think about the things that our bodies naturally do, which is we empty the cup, which is pee. We pee and we poop, which is empty the pot. Carbonation here says empty the pot, empty the cup, because that's what it is. It's a pot. It's a converting. Our stomach is a converting system to take the food that we ate and convert it right back into soil, and vice versa with the urine or whatever. So we automatically do this. As much as oxygen we breathe in is the same amount as we breathe out, and this is our exchange with the universe. This is our exchange with our environment. Just however much you talk to me is however much I'm gonna give back to you, and it's equal. It's a give and take relationship. Now, somebody asked me this today also. I just want to reiterate on this as well, as far as giving back to nature, because you could give your soil back and you could give your earth back, but you truly have to come from a space that's pure when you do that, because and pure doesn't always mean, you know, well, most of the time when we hear a pure state of being, we think about the heart and having a good intention. it is a good intention, yes, to give your soil back, but you have to be consciously aware of what you're putting in your body,
Yes,
what you're
yes.
receiving. It goes back to
Absolutely.
receiving.
Absolutely.
Whatever you're receiving is what you give back. So if, say for instance, as what you eat, if you're eating crappy foods and you're eating stuff that's not compatible with your organic computer, then that's what you're going to give back. You're going to give back toxins. You're going to give back disease. You're going to give back imbalance. And then the earth is going to take that, and the earth is going to convert that into a mutation, whatever it needs to convert it into, to, you know, be able to sustain itself. Because this is what the earth is doing in all times. It's always finding out or creating a way to keep itself in balance, and we are actually working against that process. The more we go against that process, the more the earth has to work harder. And this is why we're not in a good space and time, what we call the earth, which is basically just an organism, just like us. It's just like us. And when our bodies are nature, this goes back to our bodies being super organic computer. When you look out into nature, it's the same thing. It's a super organic computer. It's like the motherboard of our computer, and then we're the actual piece that you have to clamp on to the motherboard to have a connection with, to be able to send and emit environmental signals. So when we look out into nature, we can see how, you know, structure. Well, for the people out there that does not think that nature is structured in order and mathematical, nature is very structured, order, and mathematical. You look out, you see flowers, you see all the flowers that are on that one bush have the same amount of petals, or are the same color, have all the same strokes, and it's all mathematical and set up in a way that cannot be arranged, rearranged, manipulated, or nothing. It just is what it is. And nature can take only but so much. It's going to create mutations, but it can only take so much. And the same thing with your body. You could do so much to your body, to your organic computer, until it crashes, until it's trying to reboot itself to, you know, get rid of whatever it's getting rid of. And it's just important. It's really important to look at your environment and make it analogous to yourself, because we're truly that. Like, I pee water, and I poop soil, for crying out loud. Like, there must be a connection, but also because we have been disconnected from that, we don't see how we urine water, and we don't, because we've been taught to think that is waste. But no, it's truly not.
Yeah, and when you were talking about nature being in balance, I was thinking about how Babylon does everything to keep what they have created in balance, in order. Like when you was talking about giving your soil and water to nature, well, in Babylon, they created the sewer system because of the imbalance they were putting in their body by putting the foods that they should not be putting in, so therefore it created disease. So instead of them making that connection, they decided to create the sewer system. And then also with the foods that they were eating, because of the environment Babylon is in, it does not naturally grow the food that they need to eat. It has to be harvested. So what do? They import, export foods from different regions, which is the tropics, versus thinking, how come I just won't go to the place where they're getting this food? But then on top of that, what Babylon has done, instead of going into the environment to where we should be, being thriving and having that food, what they have done in the labs, they have created food that does not have seeds so that they can grow it. So it's like they're doing everything but doing the right thing. They're taking away from nature, and then they're putting it into an environment, but then they're not giving back. But in nature, you see everything is in harmony. Everything is in balance when you come back to nature. So therefore, your thoughts and your being has to be in harmony, in balance with nature. Because if you come to nature and you still have that mentality, all you're going to do is bring that into the environment, and then you'll probably just recreate Babylon in nature. So it takes more than you just coming back to nature. You know, nature is more than just having hikes and looking at the trees. It's a state of mind, because you can be in Babylon and you know that this is wrong. This is not where you should be. And so then eventually you will vibrate to nature. But then what I found was people come back to nature, and because they have not changed their thoughts and they do not truly understand what it is, they end up vibrating back to Babylon, because it's all in your mind. It's all a state of mind.
Yes, I want to bring that back full circle to us being a receptor. That was such a great transition for me to make this point. Back to us being a receptor, we are receiving those environmental signals from Babylon. We're receiving that energy, and because we're programmed this way, we are genetically programmed mutatedly. Like, our genetics are not supposed to be programmed in such a way that we destroy ourselves and go against ourselves. So we were mutated. Our minds, our genetics were mutated into doing this way of or living out this way of life. And so now, it used to be a lot of less melanated beings. You see a lot of less melanated beings who created the toilet system or who created Babylon. But now, as you're moving up and we start to devolve even more, you start to see black faces. You start to see melanated faces on these products, on these things. And even so, I came across this post on Facebook, and it was like all of the melanated people who created something, but it's all things that derive from the Babylon way of life. And I'm like, wow, like, you could name all of the black things or the black people who created this stuff, but that's simply because melanin plays as an amplifier, just like I told you. So if you were a person who, if you had two specimens and you knew that one of the specimens that were more conducive to whatever it was receiving, to amplify whatever it receives, versus the other one, it was like, yeah, it's all right, it could get the job done, but the other one is better, you would choose the one that's better to get your agenda done, to get whatever you need done. And this is what they're doing with melanated beings. Melanated beings have been mutated in such a way to the point where we only see fit to use our melanin to live out the way of the Babylon life, because it feels good, because this is something that we enjoy and is luxury over law. And it's not something that we base any morals in or principles in. It's just because it feels good. And that's where you're gonna get yourself hurt if you could keep continuing to live this way of life. Just because you do something, or just because you have the opportunity to do something, or make the decision to do the bad thing, if you're opportune with that, doesn't mean that you should. You should literally and consciously think about the repercussions or the things that's going to happen to you if you make these certain decisions. And we have all the information at hand for us to research this and look upon, not to be we're not in a era in time anymore where there's not information at our hands for us to be like, okay, if I do this, then this is going to happen. No, we have all the information at hand. So it's very important to start studying and to start asking questions in your environment. Okay, what am I receiving? I understand what my melanin is. I understand that it's very, very powerful. It's a conductor. It's a superconductor. So whatever I take in, whatever I receive, then I'm gonna make it great, whatever it is. So I want to be conscious and I want to be aware of what I'm actually receiving, so that I could be the best thing that I know that I could be. So with that being said, let's all take today and all of the next days, or what Babylon will call days. There's no such thing as days, age, time, distance. There's no such thing as that. It's all in the mind. If I want to be close to you, I'll go to you in my mind, and this is what we do, right? So everything was created and formulated through thoughts, and then the thoughts came into this reality, and then we created it. So let's take all of the space and amount of what we would call time in the universe to always think about the most objective decision that we can make as far as living on this organism that we call Earth. We need to be more aware of what we're doing. We need to be more aware of what we're receiving, so that we can put out the right thing. So I just want everybody to take a moment and look around you. Look around you in your environment, and what are the type of things do you have around you? Are you in the space of Babylon? And if you are in the space of Babylon and you're trying to come out of Babylon to, if you are chosen to become your higher self, you should be wanting to get out of there even more, because an angel, or what we would call an angel, which is just pure thoughts, that cannot stay in a place of negative thoughts. That cannot stay in a low vibrational state. once you understand the truth, once you have the truth in your heart, and somebody confirmed, or another particle, if you confirmed it for you, you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, I know that's how it was for me. Once I truly had waken up, because we have a lot of people out there that are chosen, but they're going through levels of waking up and going to sleep, waking up and going to sleep. But once you truly wake up, it should be like, nah, this is wrong. I know the truth. I know I cannot do this, blah, blah, blah. And the ones who know the truth and does not do it are the ones who are going to suffer the most. But this is why, also this is why Carbonation comes out and give these downloads every day, because we know how imperative it is. We're actually living it. We're out here in the jungle, and we understand that we are receptors to whatever it is in our environment, and that we emit whatever, what we amplify, whatever it is that we receive. So with that being said, I do want to close it out, because I feel like we've said everything. Just be aware of what you're receiving. There are downloads on how our body are supercomputers. If anybody needs any more extensive, well, I'm pretty sure, because that's a heavy topic. Our body being a supercomputer is like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? That's information that we're not being exposed to by Babylon. So for us to come to that understanding and discover that for ourselves, is like, okay, you can find that download on Melanation TV. That download, supercomputer, our body being a super organic computer, is on Melanation TV. Go check that video out. It is imperative for us to understand this, so that we could be in tune with who we are.
Yes.
So I love myself.
I love myself.
Until next time.
All right, y'all. I hope y'all enjoyed this video as well as my commentary. Please be sure to drop me a comment, smash the heck out of that like button, and share. Guys, I want to give a warm welcome to all of my new subscribers. Hey, y'all. Welcome to the channel. To all of my OGs, my day ones, my ride or dies. Y'all already know what it is. Big up yourself. We in the building with it.